Many years ago, a man named Taru lived in a small village in the hills. He was a hardworking farmer and owned a field in a place called Marak. People from nearby villages whispered about it, calling it a place of spirits. They said it was haunted and warned Taru not to farm there. Some claimed they had seen spirits watching over the area, guarding it fiercely. Among them were spirit-serpents, with scales that shimmered like jewels and a brilliant red crest, like a rooster's comb at their heads. Despite these warnings, Taru wasn't afraid. He knew Marak had rich, fertile soil, and he believed that hard work would bring him a good harvest. He tilled the field and planted paddy. His efforts paid off. His paddy grew tall, the plants were lush, and the grain was heavy. It looked like it would be a bountiful harvest. But one morning, Taru noticed something strange. Many of the paddy stalks had been twisted together and left in messy heaps. He felt his heart sink. It wasn't just a few stalks. Large sections of his crop were being ruined. He knew it wasn't the work of any ordinary animal. It must be some wild creature, he thought. Determined to protect his field, he decided to keep watch at night after night. Taru stood guard, waiting quietly. Several nights passed, but nothing appeared. Still, he didn't give up. Then, on a bright, full moonlit night, he saw something move. A huge snake slithered silently into his field. It was unlike any snake he had ever seen. Its scales shimmered in the moonlight, and it was long and thick, with a bright red crest on its head. It moved quickly, wrapping itself around the paddy stalks and tearing at them. Taru's fear turned into anger. Without hesitating, he grabbed his spear. With a swift and powerful thrust, he drove the spear into the snake's body. The snake thrashed and hissed, but the wound was fatal, leaving it dead. Exhausted and trembling, Taru returned home to share his story with his family. For a few days, Soren went to his field as usual, but then later, Taru fell gravely ill. His wife Mira tried everything to cure him. She made all kinds of herbal broths and consulted the local healers, but nothing worked. Taru's condition worsened, and within a week, he passed away. His family was heartbroken. They mourned him deeply and buried him with great sorrow. Weeks went by, and Mira and the other family members decided to harvest the field that Taru had worked so hard on. When they reached Marak, they found the paddy golden and ripe. Tears welled up in their eyes as they remembered his dedication. They gathered around and began the traditional mourning, calling out Taru's name as they wept. To their shock, a faint voice answered them. Mira looked around in confusion and called again. Once more the voice replied. It seemed to come from somewhere deep underground. The family followed the sound and found themselves standing near a dark, deep hole at the edge of the field. Mira and the others stared at the hole, wide-eyed. They realized that this was no ordinary hole. It must be the entrance to the spirit world. The snake Taru had killed must have been the guardian spirit of Marak, and by killing it, Taru's spirit had been bound to this land forever. To honor his spirit, the villagers built a small shrine near the hole and called it Taru's resting place. It was a place for offerings and prayers, and so Taru's name lived on in Maruk, not as a victim of fate, but as a protector of the land he had loved so deeply. That's all for today's video. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thanks for watching.